is intended to children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is the one, the only, the Purple Pouncer. How does that work? Purple Valkyrie. Thank you so much for being here, Purple Valkyrie.
You're welcome. I like that. Purple Panther. I have to add that to my Twitter bio.
Oh, shit. How's it going?
It's going well, yeah. Happy Tuesday.
Yes. Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Good morning, Mr. CCDB Project Storytime, Samantha Joe, the other half of the tag team Valkyries. Captain Shrek, good morning, brother. My other wrench. Good morning, Dee Dee Myers. Nina Green. Hello, Nina. Adega Outlaw, the Doctor of Destruction, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Mary's Game Room. Hello, Mary. Sitting Room, good morning. Darth Haster, my tentacled brother from another pantheon. And, of course, the one and only Mexican of Mexicans, the Mexican Iron Man. Jedi Bill 797, good morning. Mark the Infinitely Tired is here. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Jeff Franklin, good morning. Dave G Sound, good morning. I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. No Adam West, unsubscribe. Well, thank you. Project Storytime. I couldn't fit him in the box, dude. All right. That sounded wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, we should probably just leave that one.
Fat Steven Seagal, how are you doing, brother? And he says, oh, wow. Hello, nurse.
Good morning.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Oh, look, there's Brown Lantern. Hola, Senor Loki. Hola, Brown Lantern.
Buenos dias.
Where is Pal Batman? Pal Batman didn't make it into the picture because Loki didn't have any room. Pal Batman got sidelined because Loki ran out of room. It was hard enough getting those guys in there. I had to stretch it. Again, that sounded so wrong. That sounded so very wrong. And yeah.
You see, I told you we were going to have fun this morning.
Shit. Oh, man. Buenos dias, Brown Lantern. Where is alcoholic Batman? Where is millennial in transition Batman? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know where alcoholic. I don't know who alcoholic Batman is, and I don't know. I have no idea what this millennial in transition Batman is you speak of. Where's Glitter Batman? That makes more sense. Glitter Batman didn't make the roster. If Adam West didn't make the roster, Glitter Batman didn't make the roster. Affleck. That makes sense. Affleck is alcoholic Batman. Okay. I got you now. That's not very nice, Mike. Oh shit. So over the years, Batman has been this like terror of the night. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. But what about Bruce Wayne?
Yes.
Billionaire playboy.
Billionaire playboy, smooth, handsome, unattainable, but women want him anyway. Exactly. See, when we were talking, you wanted a kind of female perspective as to why he's so desirable. So I'll kind of give you my take on it. It's because he's mysterious. You know, it's the idea of this billionaire playboy. He's got all the money in the world. He can do pretty much anything he wants. He's got this huge company. He's a philanthropist. He's handsome, but he's also very mysterious. You know, it's very hard to kind of get to know the real Bruce Wayne, no matter how hard people try. So you have people like Vicky Vale always going after him, trying to get a scoop on him, trying to get, you know, the inside knowledge on him. And I would imagine, you know, if this were real, it would be pretty much the same thing. People would be constantly trying to kind of pry into his life and see what makes him tick. So I think that's probably the attraction on the Bruce Wayne side. On the Batman side, it's just, for me, I grew up reading the Batman comics, and you know, he's a great hero. You get to see him. He beats up the villains. He takes on pretty much insurmountable odds sometimes, and I think you forget that he's just a man that's trained himself to be peak physical fitness and mentally strong, but still he has no actual superpowers.
No, he doesn't. He has no powers beyond his mental capability and his my body is a weapon. Mm-hmm. He has trained his body to peak efficiency. It's one of the things we talked about in when we were looking at that preview from Warner Brothers about the new Batman, when he just hauls off and goes on up on that guy.
Yes. I don't know about you, Loki, but I didn't believe it for 1 second.
No.
You've got scrawny, tiny, you know, he obviously didn't bulk up. I thought perhaps he was, you know, playing people to say, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to work out for this role. And it was in secret actually doing it. But seeing him in the trailer, no, he didn't. So he just got scrawny, floppy-haired Robert Pattinson losing it and just beating the hell out of somebody. Good morning, Saucy Ranch.
And Batman was so efficient that when surrounded by a group of enemies, he would spend the least amount of energy possible. Yes. Because it is an endurance trial. When you are faced with multiple opponents, yes, you could totally go off on somebody, but people don't think about how heavy your arms get, how heavy your legs get, how weak your body gets the more it exerts itself in combat.
Exactly. Watching that trailer, watching that particular scene, had he been jumped on by the other, you know, half a dozen guys standing there and watching him, he probably would have lost that fight, because he'd spent so much energy and put so much into attacking that one person. He wouldn't have been able to counterattack, at least from my perspective. What do you think, hon?
I don't think he would have been able to either. He was completely focused on that one person. And when you get jumped, when you're focused like that on one person, and believe me, I know, and you get jumped, there is no warning. There's no warning bell. You just get jumped. And, once that happens, yeah, good luck. Good luck, because it's all gone to shit.
Yes. You said that Batman thinks strategically, and I'd absolutely agree. He would take out the strongest in the group first. He would isolate whoever is the biggest threat to him and take them out first, and then pick them off one at a time.
Yeah.
It was such a strange trailer. It's like, what am I looking at? So yeah, probably not one that I'm going to be looking forward to. But even the Riddler, it's like, okay, that's the Riddler. If you say so, he looks like Hush.
Yeah, he looks like Hush. Project Storytime. I'm also tired of seeing early Batman. Why can't we get a fully established Batman with his entire rogues gallery? It's true. But what attracted you personally to Bruce Wayne? Because I mean, we all get, I think Nicole Kidman said it best in Batman Forever. It's the suit. It's the suit, and then Batman said it's the car. Chicks dig the car. Yeah,
chicks dig the car, chicks dig the mystery. With Bruce Wayne, it's probably, I know this is horrible to say, it's probably the power. He is in Gotham, he is such a well-known figure, not just because of Wayne Tech, but because of the Wayne Foundation, giving money to charities. He's always, on the news, he's always in the tabloids. He's part of the Wayne family legacy as well. So people would have known about him growing up. They would have known what happened to his parents, and he would have been kind of followed. Where it kind of falls down a little bit is when he disappears to go training to become Batman. I think alarm bells really should have rung there. But Bruce Wayne himself, it's the power, it's the money, he's handsome, and he's single.
Yeah. And I actually, some people didn't like that about Batman Begins. I actually like that when he runs off with the crooks, and he's like running around with the crooks, stealing his own shit. How can you steal your own stuff? Yeah. So I think he even tries to tell them that, it's my stuff. I can't steal my own stuff. And they're like, shut up. They don't believe him.
I think it also, it kind of comes down to he can kind of get away with almost anything. So if you think in the film where he absconds with the entire Russian ballet and just takes them onto a yacht, it's like, yeah, that's a very Bruce Wayne thing to do. It's an ostentatious, just ridiculous thing. And also when he buys the hotel, it's like, or the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's just a ridiculous show of wealth, I think, as well.
And he's showing off. And we have a $10 super chat from Batman Jealous Hater. Thank you so much, Batman Jealous Hater. And let's do it, Purple.
Let's do it. Go!
There it is. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
And Batman Jealous Hater says Batman is a loner loser that does not support the Second Amendment, and I could break Robert Millennial Batman with my Coors Light bottle opener. Wow.
Shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired from Batman Jealous Hater. Thank you so much, Batman Jealous Hater, for keeping the lights on in Valhalla. And welcome to Lori Roberts, the Destructor. And goodbye, Brown Lantern. He must go back to the tortilla fields and pick tortillas for that horrible Mexican Iron Man. They've done a really good job over the years, especially with his relationships, showing how difficult it is. I remember seeing Mask of the Phantasm for the first time and going, holy crap, he was in love. I didn't think Batman fell in love. And he was very much in love to the point that he went to his mom and dad's grave and was like, I don't want to do this. I want to have a normal life. I'm in love with her and I want to have a normal life. And it showed that at one point he was susceptible to something as above the mission.
Yeah, that's the one thing that probably could have compromised him. Absolutely. And I think he realized that. he, over the years, as Bruce Wayne, has had relationships with, women that aren't rogues. Obviously, Catwoman's the longest running one, but she knows who Batman is, she knows who Bruce Wayne is, and that's why the on and off works. But he's had relationships with Vicky Vale and Vesper Fairchild, which was a doomed relationship, and I think that one hurt him very badly. There is another story that kind of springs to mind. Do you remember Going Sane?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. It's a Joker-centric story, but it's Joker and Batman fighting it out as they always do. Joker gets the upper hand, and he thinks that he's killed Batman. Now, this shocks him to his core, and it basically knocks the crazy out of him. He becomes, for all intents and purposes, sane. He realizes that he's got nothing else to fight for now, so he takes on a new identity. He tries to have a normal life. Batman, however, isn't dead. He falls in the river and is rescued by a woman. But he's got amnesia, so he doesn't know who he is, where he came from, what's happened. But fortunately for him, she happens to be a doctor, and she nurses him back to health. Now, as the story goes on, they kind of develop feelings for each other. And obviously, because she's dragged him out of the river wearing the batsuit, she knows he's Batman and he's also Bruce Wayne. And in the end, she kind of tells him a story of how Batman saves her from being attacked. And rather than disappearing as he usually does, he fights the bad guy and then goes away, he actually comforts her. He puts his arms around her. And it's that connection that she has with him and with Bruce Wayne that kind of really touched her. So it's the man behind the mask that she kind of falls for.
Oh, wow. And do they, obviously they don't continue to have a relationship because Tom King cucked them. We'll get into that in a minute, and some fire and damnation from me. But that is really cool. What happened? I mean,
well, I really recommend story. I mean, I've got it on the desk at the moment because I had to pull it off. That's the story, Going Sane.
Oh, wow.
It is Joker centric, but it's a really kind of good into the mind of Batman when he's at his most vulnerable. So he has to learn to kind of rely on somebody else and to let his guard down with basically a stranger. They part ways kind of amicably, but it's never really resolved. He never really says whether he has feelings for her or not, but I think she obviously kind of feels a deeper connection with him, and and other than being extremely grateful for him saving her as Batman.
Wow, that would almost be, yeah, Josh. Why did you say that name? Oh, I know, Josh. I know. I would have loved to see that mature into something more. I would have really loved to see that mature into something more. And it would have been, if she, that's one of those stories where if she at the end was like, listen, I am okay. I can watch after myself. You don't have to watch over me. You don't have to worry about me. And then something happened to her.
Yes.
That would have been like fucking hard. Like, he's like, okay, this is a woman who can live with me being Bruce Wayne and being Batman and encourage what I am doing. And then to lose her to something random. It doesn't have to be something like an attack. She doesn't have to be attacked or kidnapped or none of that. Just something random.
Like just an accident or something. Yes. Yeah. To get that, to be shown that you can have that relationship, that you can put your trust in basically a stranger and kind of let it develop into something else, and then to have it snatched away would be absolutely heartbreaking for him. because again, I think it would solidify the idea that he just cannot have relationships.
Yeah, it's not something he can do when he wears the mask.
Mhm.
As long as you wear the mask, that's your deal, and you are cursed to live a life in the shadows.
Could I ask, just to deviate slightly, which do you think is the real person? Do you think Batman is the real personality and Bruce Wayne is the fake, or do you think it's the other way around?
Oh no, I think both of them are ingrained in him, but I think he is more Batman than at least the Batman I know. The Batman from the animated series, Michael Keaton's Batman. I can't say that about George Clooney's Batman. He seemed like a great Bruce Wayne. He just sucked as Batman. But that's my opinion, just on like a portrayal of Batman. But Bruce Wayne is in there. He's just been taken over. Do I think that he could, if he put the cowl down like he does in Batman Beyond, it becomes Bruce Wayne again? Yes, I think Bruce Wayne. But as long as he wears that cape and cowl, he is Batman.
Yes, because that's what we had a problem with as well at the end of the Telltale's game, because he had that kind of, you either stop being Batman and fully immerse, take on being Bruce Wayne, or you be Batman and let Bruce Wayne go. Now, this wasn't obviously with a woman, it was with Alfred, but it's still the same scenario. It's the idea that one has to go for the other to take over. I think a lot of writers, they don't know how to balance the two characters, and that's where Batman the Animated Series did really well.
Yeah, and well, obviously the Bruce Wayne that everyone gets besides Alfred and the people in the Batman family, there are two different people too. The Bruce Wayne that the public sees is what Batman wants them to see. The Bruce Wayne that the Batman family sees is Bruce Wayne. That is him, but it's a mask. Bruce Wayne outside of the Bat family is just another mask.
Yes, yeah, it's just another personality that he takes on, like matches Malone.
Yeah. Mexican Iron Man says Bruce Wayne takes effort. Batman comes natural, except at the end of the Nolan trilogy. I don't even acknowledge the end of the Nolan trilogy. Number one, you see Alfred leave, and Alfred would never leave him. Alfred is in a penny for a pound, as they say across the pond. He's in for a penny and a pound. He would never ever turn his back on Bruce Wayne.
No, that's the one thing that Alfred would never do. He would, give his life for Bruce. He wouldn't even consider walking away from him after he's raised him from, a little boy after he lost his parents.
And Josh says Batman Beyond old Bruce is still Batman, just unable to wear the suit any longer, and he finds time to mock Adam West. He does now, maybe, because that's what Warner Brothers wants him to do. Mr. Hyde, good morning. How are you doing? We are talking Batman and Bruce Wayne and why the ladies love Bruce Wayne. One thing that I wanted to touch on, because I completely fucking hate this guy, is Tom King.
Oh, gosh.
What he did to Batman.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much unanimous what it. He can't write Bruce Wayne. He tries to write Batman stories, and I think they're very hit and miss. But what Tom King seems to do a lot is put his own experiences into being Bruce Wayne, and he's taken him right back to the 90s, where Bruce Wayne and Batman were very morose. You know, he couldn't find happiness, and the idea that Tom King has that as long as there's Batman, that Bruce can't be happy, I think it's just ridiculous. You know, there is a balance to the two sides of this personality, and he just doesn't believe that one can balance that. It's either go all in as Batman or go all in as Bruce Wayne. And the Bruce Wayne, when he writes him, is very miserable. He's always morose. He has bad relationships, and he, as you say, he's just been cooked.
Yeah, he's been fucking cucked. When I heard about the marriage with Catwoman, I was like, really? I can kind of see him and Selena maybe trying to do that because they both know who each other are. They accept it. They're as far as like the way they are, she doesn't have any superpowers and he doesn't have any superpowers, but they still do, you know, and they've been known to team up on occasion and have a relationship on occasion and have a back and forth thing. And if anybody can understand him, it's Selena.
Yes, they are a good match for each other, and I think that's why writers over the years have kept going back to this particular pairing. They definitely have a connection between each other. But I like the kind of the friction that comes between them. I like the on and off again kind of. It's almost a game that they play.
Yeah. It's almost a game that they play.
Mm-hmm. But I can't see them ever being married. Neither of them, I would say, are kind of the type to settle down, especially not with each other.
No, and to put them in that situation, I thought before I even heard later what happens. Just Batman's getting married. I'm like, really? Who the fuck is Selena Kyle? I'm like, what? I don't imagine that she would even say yes, and I don't see him ever asking.
No.
It's not that it's not possible. It's that he not while he's Batman, not while he has the mission. The mission takes precedence. Project Storytime. Tom King is a master of deconstruction, but he's a buffoon when it comes to building them back up. If you deconstruct and don't put it back together, it's broken. Agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get a broken, crying, wilted fucking Bruce Wayne Batman. As he left me at the altar. I'm like, really? Bullshit. No fucking way. Batman is crying like a cucked little bitch. No.
If he can get over having his back broken by Bane, he can get
his parents shot in front of him.
Yeah. Oh, can I just say a very happy birthday to Red Monarch?
Yes, Red Monarch, happy birthday. Wake and bake time. Happy birthday, Red Monarch.
Happy birthday. But no, you're absolutely right. And the whole thing behind Batman is he doesn't want to put people he loves in danger. That's why he's so, at least to begin with, he was so hesitant to take on a ward. You know, he didn't want Robin. You know, he doesn't want people close to him that can be used as leverage by his enemies.
And good morning, Vegas Sin 333. I think I know who that is. Name change. Cool name change, too. Sin 33.
It is.
He went through all this stuff in his life. The one of the best stories that, at least where he fell in love, like I said, was Mask of the Phantasm. That redhead, he was just head over heels. When she comes out and she's like, "What are you doing?" and he's like, "Jiu-jitsu." Gesundheit. And he's like, "Jiu-jitsu is not a joke. Da, 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 da." And she flips him and lands on top of him. And she's like, Moira's self-defense class for girls, and he's like, holy shit. And they have this thing immediately.
Mhm.
And he wants to give up Kate before he even gets going. And then poof, she's gone. Dear John letter, I have to go away. I always care about you, but I can't be with you. Goodbye. And he's just left heartbroken.
Yeah, it just completely pulls the rug out from under him. He would have been willing to give up everything, as you say, to pursue this relationship and to have it not taken away by like a violent circumstance, but to have her just kind of step away herself, I think cut him really deeply in that film.
Wait. Chris Persia, are you okay? Let me get this straight. Bruce Wayne wasn't going to marry Selena Kyle. Batman was marrying Catwoman. You've got to be shitting me. No. Are you serious? Is that right? Batman was marrying Catwoman. Bruce Wayne wasn't marrying Selena Kyle.
Well, then you get to the point, well, where do you draw the line between the two? Well, even in this case, four. So what's the difference between Selena Kyle and Catwoman? What's the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman? Where do you draw the line?
Okay, he would never do that. If he would do anything, it would have been Bruce Wayne and Selena, because he would not want any of the villains to know that Batman's married to Catwoman. That's the last thing he would want them to know. Oh, Lord. If I didn't already think this guy was just completely out of his mind, I would say he's the dumbest man on the planet now. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Okay, Bruce Wayne's not going to marry Selena Kyle. Batman's going to marry Catwoman. Why? Beyond stupid. Yes, thank you, Psychodorf 9. Yes, beyond stupid. Yeah, that's why Tom King sucks ass. Leaving Batman a cucked little bitch was bad enough. That takes the cake. I did not know that. Thank you, Chris Persia. That's another piece of ammo in my arsenal. Whenever people, Tom King's a genius. I don't think so. Bitch.
No, he's not. He's not a genius. No, I think, as it was said before, if you deconstruct and deconstruct but don't have the ability to put the pieces back together, then, well, you're not a good writer.
No, not at all. Not at all. Chris Persia, supposedly it was to delineate Batman from Bruce, because if Selena marries Bruce, everyone would know he's Batman. But it was bullshit. Wow. Okay.
But in that scenario, you'd have to know that Selena is Catwoman, and Selena, she always keeps her identity very well guarded, the same as Bruce does with Batman.
Oh, I'm sure at some point they probably demasked her and she just came out to the world as Catwoman.
See, this is why I don't read comics past the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about Civil War the other day, and I won't ruin anything for anyone who has not read the actual comics. But Civil War in the movies is a different ball game entirely from Civil War that was in the comics. The big thing about, and this won't ruin anything for anybody, this isn't a giant secret or anything. The big thing about the comic was they wanted all the superheroes to register with the government, work for the government, and demask. And Cap was like, oh, hell no. That's not happening. There were no Sokovia Accords or any bullshit like that. I think it was the New Mutants. I think it was the New Mutants. There was a accident. That way I don't ruin anything. And basically there were orders to, okay, we have to regulate superheroes. Yeah, agreed. Red Monarch. Tony was a bitch in the comics. Yes, he was. Him and Reed Richards teaming up, you know, it was like half the Fantastic Four went with Iron Man. Half the X-Men went with them. It was, New Warriors. That's what it was. Thank you, Red Monarch.
Yeah, it split the entire Marvel roster pretty much. But yeah, you're right. In the film, it really doesn't kind of convey what a big deal this what it was. In even the X-Men, it splits them pretty much down the middle.
Yeah, I think Wolverine and Storm went with Cap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something Cyclops, if I remember correctly, went to
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because Scott's a bitch too. Oh, I always hated Scott.
Yeah, I don't like Scott either.
Boys. Get in his little Mazda Miata, and he's got Backstreet Boys blaring. Loki, I haven't read the comics, but I would think they had a lot longer to lead into Civil War in the comics than in the movies. Yes, they did. And they had a lot more heroes and villains. That is something they do not, that is not covered in the movie at all, is you've got villains that take sides too. So you've got villains fighting next to superheroes. You've got some weird shit going on because you've got, like, you know, villains teaming up on the superhero side, on Cap's side. I think I don't want to tell anymore. Oh, Chris Persia, thank you, Loki. I've never liked Scott. Yeah, we'll be fan through and through right here, brother. I was like, oh, what? She's gonna marry that guy? Jean's gonna marry that guy? What the hell?
Yeah.
Why?
The whole attraction with Jean to Scott, it's like,
Well, now they've got them in a cucked relationship. I think they cucked Wolvie with Scott and Jean, and now they're having one of those. And I'm just like, no, Wolvie would never agree to that. He'd be like, bub, no, let's go, bub. No, not like that. No. Oh man. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Obviously, I'm a 90s cartoon. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Bob.
So I'm guessing you're more of a fan of the old man Logan, that kind of story arc.
Yes, but I was not a fan of the movie. It was so exhausting to see Wolvie. He's like running, and then he's like, and I'm like, dude, I feel so sorry for you that they made you do this, because then he's like, you know, shooting steroids to go faster again, and I'm just like, oh, brother, no, what did they do to you? Oh yeah, Project Storytime. They turned Cap. Yeah, but it wasn't the real Cap. It was the real Cap.
No.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny to see people freak out when it was announced.
In fact, Steven Seagal said that our Wolvie got pegged by Cyclops. Yeah, pretty much. They did that. They had him in a relationship with Hercules in an alternate reality, and you know what? That's an alternate reality. Whatever, you can do whatever you want. If you want to do that, you want to sell that, that's fine. But our Wolverine that we've known, that we've loved, that no, it's not. He doesn't swing like that. He is a loner. He had feelings for Kumiko. He had feelings for Jean Grey. He did not have feelings for Scott fucking Summers. Oh man, who the hell came up with that? Whoever the hell came up with that needs to you're fired. Editorial, yes sir. Who approved this? Well, I did. You're fired. Who wrote it? You're fired. Who drew it? You're fucking fired. If you want to have comic book characters that are in a triangle like that, do it with someone we know would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Wolverine would never do that, so don't do that to him. Do it with somebody else. Do it with Beast. Do something. Something. Who knows? Who knows what Beast's into? He's a furry. He's a furry like loner. So just who knows what the hell he'd do. Not Wolverine. Yeah, get the fuck out. You're fired. Exactly with Monarch. Exactly. So back to, I know we've gone off the rails. Back to Batman.
That's Batman. Yeah.
Do you think he will ever be able to be in a marriage doing what he does?
No, I don't think it's part of his personality, to be honest. As much as he probably longs to do it, I think deep down he knows that it's not on the cards. I think also that's why Batman Begins works so well, because, you know, you see the older Bruce Wayne, he can no longer be Batman. He thinks his time is up, but he gets a kind of second chance to train Terry McGinnis. So he gets that kind of side of relationship, like so the family's still there. But do I think Bruce Wayne could ever settle down and marry and still keep going out night after night and being Batman? No, it's not something that would be on the cards.
No. And I think that even trying to just puts them in a horrible position, because there's this did you ever watch the Warner Brothers animated movies and after Justice League and all that?
I've watched a couple of them. I haven't watched all of them, I've got to admit.
There is a scene at the end of Batman Superman Public Enemy. Did you ever see that?
No.
Okay, well, there's a scene after this meteor shower and Batman and Superman are on this rooftop, and here comes the Daily Planet chopper, and it lands on the building, and Superman's standing there smiling at Lois, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go out to Breck?" And he looks over, and Batman's just gone. He's like, gone. He's like, and Superman just smiles, goes over and hugs Lois.
Mm-hmm.
That is the difference. That is the huge difference. And I'm not even talking about superpowers between Batman and Superman. Superman can have that relationship.
Yes. I would kind of put it on the same level as like Peter Parker and Mary Jane. It's that kind of relationship.
And they don't even have that now. God
No.
damn. It was like
they yanked that as well.
Back in the day, oh my God, I love that. Every time some shit was about to go down, Peter, you know, he's got dinner. He just makes it in the apartment. He's like, "Hey, doll," and he puts dinner down, and it's like, and you hear the sirens, and she's like, "Go get him, Tiger," and he's like, "I love you so much." Pew, out the window he goes, flying back as Spider-Man, web swinging after a damn police chase or something. She was so supportive of what he was.
Yeah.
She knew that he gave up college. He gave up a mostly a normal future. All the things he had given up in his life to be Spider-Man. Because he's just as smart as Tony Stark.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. I think that's why that relationship is so believable. But the chances of like Bruce finding a woman like that is almost impossible.
It's not in a circle.
Yeah, it's not going to happen because he has the money, he has the power. He's, you know, it's not that sort of person that would be attracted. You know, Mary Jane was attracted to Peter because he had nothing. It was Peter that she was attracted to.
And Chris Persia says, "Loki, do you want to know who the CCO of Marvel was when that decision came along with Scott, Jean, and Willoughby? Since October 2019, none other than Kevin Feige. He did say the future of Marvel was female." I know he did. And they did with Star Wars, and they did with all of Disney is one giant cucked blue-haired Landwell party. But go get him, Tiger. That was just I love that about Mary Jane. I love that about Mary Jane. It defined her as a character that she was like, you know what? I love him, and I love the fact that he has sacrificed everything to be Spider-Man.
Yes, yeah. And even though it put her in danger all the time, she still was willing to face that, to be with him. That's probably why it's one of the most enduring relationships in comics.
It is. And the fact that they ruined that they just, she's like, you don't have enough time for me, so fuck off, Peter. I'm like, God, woman, he is Spider-Man. He is swinging his ass off in New York, keeping people safe, saving people's lives. And really, that's how y'all are going to do that. And I guess that's just 2020. It's 2019, 2020. That's been the last couple of years. And I can't wait to fucking give 2020 the finger and say, fuck this year. But
from a woman's perspective, how bad does that look on us? It's like, oh, you haven't got time for us, so bye.
Yep.
It's a terrible message to give out. It's like, no.
So thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you so much for talking about this today. Guys, we will be back tonight. So will Purple Lady. I'm going to have Mads Mama Bear on as a guest tonight and 24/7 Fusion Media. And we're going to talk about superhero heroines and why they are so hot. So don't miss that. The beauty of superhero heroines, female superheroes that are absolutely like Rogue from the 90s, X-Men. Yes,
we love Rogue.
Yes, and we want to hear this from a woman's perspective as well as a guy's. We don't just want to hear the sausage factory churning out sausage, folks. We want to hear this from a female's perspective too, and I can't wait for that tonight. Guys, everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Purple, thank you, chat, so much for being here. It's been an absolute blast this morning. I can't wait to have you back on tonight.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on, Loki.
Thank you for being on. And guys, don't forget, if you have not checked out Purple Valkyrie and Samantha's Joe channel, Rise and Shine with the Valkyries, check that out. It is an absolutely awesome channel. Check it out. If you like it, subscribe and ring that bell. Guys, thank you. See you later. Have a great one. And we'll see you later today on 7 Kinds of Mischief.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Mwah.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.